All right, so let's start. Edith, if you could help me with the slides, I'll put my timer for 11 minutes, and we can start. So for the past month, I've been talking about email marketing, newsletters, and giving you some tips and best ways to promote your business through this tool. I'll deep dive in this presentation. Hopefully, you will learn some new things and maybe some things you already know. So next slide. So the two most important features that you might take away from this talk, there are 3 times more email accounts than Facebook and Twitter combined. That's a lot of emails. And email marketing has the highest return of investment of any other marketing channel available. So it's worth to invest in it. Next slide, please. So a few facts. Like I said, email is very popular. These are numbers from last year, 2019. There are 3.7 billion email users in around the world. Next slide. Regarding the ROI, so one number, take a look at it, $44. For each dollar you invest in email marketing, you will get back 44. So think about investing $100 a month or $1,000 a month. It really brings in a lot of money to your business. Next slide. Reading habits. So in email, let's talk about the 58%. How many of you read email first thing in the morning? I'll ask even more. How many of you read email while you're in bed before you wake up? So a lot of people use email. So it's a very important way to communicate. Next. Automation. Who doesn't want their business to run on automatic while they're sleeping? So automation allows us to send emails automatically to our customer base, to our user base, while we're not even at our desk. And automation really is what drives people to react to your emails. Next. I mean, we'll talk all about these points in the presentation. The next one is personalization. So I'll ask you, when we send the emails to these meetings, how many of you noticed their name in the subject line? We found that having personalization in your email really boosts up the way people interact. So 6 times higher transaction rates when you put personalization inside of your newsletter, and we'll talk about that even more. Next slide, please. So what I'll talk about in these short 10 minutes is how to get started with email marketing. The process, the way that will help you ensure that your first campaign is a success. And if you're already using email marketing, what more you can do with it. Next slide, please. So number one, the first step, as in mostly anything you do in life, you have to establish your goals. So with email marketing, you want the email to be aligned with your company's goals and key performance indicators. So some examples why you would want to use email marketing. First off, you want to drive traffic to your website. Let people know about what you do, services that you provide. You want to promote or sell a product. Reach out to your donor base for charity and for nonprofit. Let them know what you're offering. Increase ticket sales. If you have events, maybe online, Zoom, seminars, you can send emails about that. And keeping your member base engaged. So if you're a member-based organization, you want to keep in touch with your members always. Next slide, please. The next step. Well, you want to send emails, but you have to have an email list. So how can we start building your email list? So a few options there. First off, you import your current list. So if you have a list of customers, of prospects, of people who have been in touch with you, you have them in let's say an Excel sheet or a Google spreadsheet, you import them into the emailing system. Another way is to start building a list from scratch or continue building your list. How would you do that? An example, you offer a valuable incentive and a simple way to subscribe that becomes a large email list. So what can be a valuable incentive? For example, you provide someone with a worthy or value a PDF or a tips, or maybe if you have a store or a shop, you offer them first order discounts, meaning you subscribe to my list, the first order you get 10% or 20% off, or even you get free or express shipping. Uh, where can we put these subscribe forms? Well, we can put it on a website in a pop-up on landing pages, maybe at the end of every post that a user reads on your web page. And if you can go to the next slide, we'll take a look, for example, how a subscription form looks like. So on the top of your site, you can have this green bar, doesn't matter, it can be any color, but all the user needs to do, put in his email, click send me new post, and that's it. He's subscribed to your newsletter, and now you can start sending emails. Next slide, please. So no, I think you jumped.
Oh, sorry.
Right. So select the type of campaign. So we have various ways or various campaigns for our goals. And it depends on the goals we selected on step one. So it can be your regular distributed email campaign with content, maybe promoting or talking about an article you wrote on your website, an event happening around the world, something that you want to purvey to your customers and give them a good value. Second option, a marketing offer. Maybe you give them a special discount for a product you have or a service. Announcement is another option. Maybe you have a new product, a new feature, something you want to promote. And like I said earlier, an event invitation. So you have a webinar, you have a seminar, you have something going on. Maybe in a few months, you have something in person, you want to send to people a notification of that event. So that's another type of campaign. And if you move on to the next slide, we'll see, for example, how does a newsletter for inviting people to a launch of a new car would look like. So you would have a very specific invite. This would land in your user's inbox, and they can either RSVP, respond, and attend your event. Next slide, please. So after we decide about our goal, we have the audience, and we know which type of campaign we want to send. Let's start building the campaign. So a few points that will help you there. So first of all, structure for easy reading. Time span for an average adult is 8 seconds, meaning if you don't purvey the message in 8 seconds or less, they probably won't be interested. So we want to make it easy. We want to make use of images to grab the attention, good images to grab the attention, the visuals to boost the engagement. So having a great image on the top of your newsletter really helps. I mentioned earlier, personalize your email campaign. So if you add the first name or the person, his role, which when you collect their data to the email, when you see your name, it catches your attention. Ensure your campaigns are on brand and build trust. So this is very important. So your campaign or your emails are not like floating around in space. They're a part of your brand. They're part of your website. They're part of your look and feel. They're part of your letterheads. So we want to make that concise with your newsletters. And once we design them, we take that into account, and we'll show you in the next slide how it looks like. Make it easy to convert. Yeah, so this is for example, yeah, you can go there. I'll keep talking. So this is keeping your site on brand. So on the left, on the big image is your website, for example, and on the right, you can see your newsletter. So the user, once he jumps between your site and your newsletter, has the same experience. And another point we're talking about is to send more than promotional content. You don't just want to push and make people buy stuff. You want to give them great value. So how do we do that? A lot of people ask me, okay, we'll get the system running, but what do we send? So if you go to the next slide, we can talk about that. You have the content. If you have a website, if you send promotional stuff to your customers, you have the content. So what can it be? It can be your company information, career opportunities. It can be about specific product and services, infographics, industry studies. Well, you see the list. There's a very long list, and I'll even share a list of 50 content ideas you can do for your next emailing newsletter. If you can go ahead to the next slide. Yeah, so as we know, if we don't measure it, we cannot improve it. So with email, it's very easy to measure with our systems. We know exactly how many people opened our email, how many bounces, meaning how many emails did not reach their destination, what was the open rate, how many people clicked and which links they clicked. And we can we can track that and know how to improve our next campaign, which items in our email worked and which did not work. And then we can always look to improve our next campaign. If you can move on to the next slide, we'll see a little snapshot of how the statistics screen looked like. We can see the unique opens, the people who didn't open. And by the way, a good open rate is between 15 and 30%. So if you're thinking, oh, I got only 50%, no, that's a great number. If you can go on to the next slide and we'll wrap up. So as I said, emailing is a powerful driver of sales and revenue, and it's a great tool to boost your business and get more visitors, get more money into your business. If you follow these 5 steps, and I'll send you a link to this presentation, I'm sure that it'll be easier for you to send emails to your customers. Next slide, I'm just finishing up. So my ask, if I'm looking for businesses to help them kickstart this new year with a shiny new email campaign. And by the way, it's not too late. If you want to send a happy holiday campaign, please get in touch with me and we'll see how you can set that up. Thank you very much and have a great new year.